What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement, and we're back here in the basement for an Anzac Day celebration. Before we get into that, subscribe, hit the bell notice and the like button. Drop your comments down below where you'll find a link to this video in the comments down below. Now, briefly, I did this song a year ago, and it had the lyrics at the bottom. This upset many, many people. Not the video, not the song, obviously. It was the lyrics, and the lyrics apparently did not match the video. This was not unbeknownst to me. Big word for the basement. But it was unbeknownst to me. It wasn't done on purpose. I wrote a special thing in there, and I've got a lot of people understood, but I have gotten some hate. I got some American type names yelled at me. Now listen, that was not my doing. Those letterings and the wording at the bottom apparently didn't follow the song very well, and some people took it as disrespect. It was 100% not meant to be disrespectful. 100% not meant to be that way. I respect veterans and things that they've gone through 110%. So my apologies to those that felt that was done on purpose. It wasn't. And the lyrics will not be at the bottom of this one. They will not be there. So, veterans provide all of our freedoms. They provide all of the things that we have in this world. They provide everything for Essendon to play Collingwood. They provide the protection that can be there. They've provided the homes and the things that we can do in the free world and the free life that we have. They go out of with the blood, sweat, and tears, and they put in the work. They put in the time. They put in all of the things that we can have the gift of waking up in the morning, going out and knowing we're protected. I have 110% respect for veterans. I am not one. I am not one. I knew that just wasn't for me. I went right to work after high school. I had friends of mine that went in the Marines and the Army. I did not go in. So that was not a part of my life, but I have 110 respect for the people that did. So again, those lyrics on the last time I did this last year, unintentional. Now, moving right along, Essendon is playing Collingwood, which is like 1:30 in the morning for me here. I'll do a review on that game as well, and it'll come long after the game because I have to watch a review of it in the morning. Anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. Right now, it's all about Anzac Day. I Was Only 19 by John Schumann. Let's get into that right now, and this is a do-over. How about that for a term? A do-over. Let's get into it.
I'm sorry I can't be there with you tonight. When I wrote I Was Only 19, I was simply telling the story of my brother-in-law, Mick Storen. Mick was deployed to Vietnam in 1969, and he'd been involved in a very serious mine incident in the Long High Hills. Our Vietnam veterans came home to a bitterly divided society, and they fell into the cracks. As opposed to the well-meant inquiries, commissions and parliamentary committees, in 4 minutes 19 seconds, I Was Only 19 enabled ordinary Australians to walk in the shoes and look out of the eyes of our Vietnam veterans. It stopped all of us in our tracks. We Australians are fundamentally decent and fair, and once we got it, we all look back in shame at how we treated our Vietnam veterans. I don't think we'll make that mistake again. What I didn't realise until much later is that I Was Only 19 is a sort of quickly understandable dissertation on post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as the effects of herbicides and insecticides on our Vietnam veterans. A few years ago, I scripted and narrated a DVD for the Army on post-traumatic stress disorder. It was designed for soldiers pre- and post-deployment. I interviewed a wide range of veterans from Vietnam, East Timor, Somalia, Rwanda, Iraq and Afghanistan. And like Mick Storen, all these blokes had the courage to tell their PTSD stories so that their other comrades wouldn't have to suffer alone for years like they did. One of the most arresting stories I was told came from a Vietnam veteran. When he demobbed, he tried to slip back into his life in rural Queensland. He wasn't having a very good time. He had rashes that came and went, but his doctor told him they were due to his wife using too much detergent when she washed his clothes. His toenails fell out, but his doctor told him it was athlete's foot. He suffered from insomnia, but his doctor told him he was drinking too much coffee. When he heard 19 for the first time, he told me he was driving on a country Queensland road. He pulled over onto the verge and listened to the song, and then he cried. And after he dried his eyes, he told me his first thought was, those bastards have been lying to me. Because clearly, if some bloke could write a song that spoke directly to his heart and his experience, he was not the only one. He sought out other vets and found there were veteran support groups scattered all over the place, loose, unstructured, but all determined to fight for justice and a voice. It was the start of a movement. I Was Only 19 has lasted so long because, among other things, it speaks the truth about PTSD. It sets it in a real-life context. What I've learned about PTSD is this: it doesn't mean you're soft, it means you're human. Armed combat is the highest form of public service. When Australian serving men and women come home from whatever conflict our government sends them to, we owe them and their families all the help and support that we can possibly give them. They didn't count the cost, and neither should we. We honour our veterans, and we must stand beside them when they face the difficult challenges of coming home, so often bringing with them psychological as well as physical injuries. Oh, and one last thing. Don't let anyone ever tell you that songs can't change the world.
So much truth in that. So much truth in that. Even over here, Vietnam veterans got spit on, harassed, blamed for the war, thrown into the political aspects of it, and it was very bad over here, and a lot of them are just now getting the respect the last few years that they should have been getting all along. Some lived under bridges, some had such just wrongness done to them. Wrongness done to them. It shouldn't be. You went out and saw the horrors out there, saw the world in a way that none of us could ever even imagine. Think about what we get upset over. Think about what we get upset over. Lions not having a great season. The Knicks, the Rangers, they're in the playoffs. Oh, they better win. They better win. I watch. We support them. These are the guys that we should be supporting. These are the guys that should be supported 110%. That's a game. That's a game. This is real life. He spoke that very, very well. Let's get into the song right now, but that PTSD is real. I can't imagine what it was like to see your friends blown away right next to you, heads taken off, and you're in a war that you just don't, against, you're pawns. You're basically pawns. Let's get into the song before I get too deep into the running on and on and on. Let's go.
Mum and Dad and Denny saw the passing out parade at Puckapunyal. It was a long march from cadets.
Where you eat is up to you. But what you eat? No.
And the 6th Battalion was the next to tour. It was me who drew the card. We did Canungra, Shoalwater before we left. And Townsville lined the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the paper shows us young and strong and clean. And there's me in me slouch hat with me SLR and greens. God help me, I was only 19. From Muntel, Brighton, Chinooks to the dust at Newey Dat, I've been in and out of choppers now for months. And we made our tents a home, VB and pin-ups on the loggers, and an Asian orange sunset to the scrub. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? Nighttime, just a jungle dart and a barking M16. What's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19. A 4-week operation, when each step could mean your last one on 2 legs. It was a war within yourself, but you wouldn't let your mates down till they had you dusted off. So you closed your eyes and you thought about something else. And then someone yelled out, "Contact front!" And the bloke behind me swore. We pushed in there for hours, then I got almighty raw. Frankie kicked the mine, the day that mankind kicked the moon. God help me. He was going home in June. I can still see Frankie drinking tinnies in the Grand Hotel on a 36-hour rec leave in Van Tau. I can still hear Frankie lying screaming in the jungle till the morphine came and killed the bloody row. And the Anzac legends didn't mention Martin blood and tears, and the stories my father told me never seemed quite real. And I caught some pieces in the back that didn't even feel. God help me, I was only 19. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? And why the Channel 7 chopper chills me to my feet? And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19.
That was awesome. I wanted to stop it a couple times and throw some comments in, but I wrote them down. Because the song needed to play. The song just needed to play. I love that he has the military with him there in the background, doing the musical end of it, the drumming, the background vocals. Awesome. What perfect respect right there, because they have lived it. There's a couple things I wrote down in here that were pretty interesting to me that goes along with the PTSD. He mentioned the Channel 7 chopper. Still scares me in my sleep. Hearing that chopper, can you imagine just a regular helicopter passing by and it takes your mind back. Takes your mind back to where you come. The horror is why you're asking the doctor, I still can't go to sleep. Why can't I go to sleep? The doctors back then, as he said in his introduction, don't even know what was going on. Athlete's foot. I've had athlete's foot. My toenails didn't fall out. Excuse me. I just... What they didn't know, what they had to learn over time made it even scarier because nobody knew what PTSD was. Maybe people thought they were crazy. People thought, what is going on with this person? Or some people, this cop out or whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy how over the course of time it took years and years and years later and people getting iller and iller and iller. Living under bridges. Losing homes, families not knowing what's going on. Why is their mind what happened to my kid? I'm only 19 at 19 years old, seeing all these horrors. And the war within yourself. Another key phrase in there, the war within yourself. That war has got to be strong, the strongest one to fight. The war within yourself. Shout out to all the veterans that are watching this. Shout out to the sacrifices that you have made. I 110% respect every single one of you. This was a great one. And again, let's keep it moving forward. The Essendon Bombers are playing the Collingwood Magpies in the annual Anzac Day game, which I believe Collingwood has 17 of those wins in their 28 meetings or something like that. I'm just going off the top of my head, but this right now is really where it's at. So thank you all for your support. Subscribe, bell notice, like button at the bottom, where you'll find a link to this video also at the bottom. Thank you again, guys. I'm Johnny Baseman, and I am out.